Us now live in the studios to talk about more about police brutality. We have Charles Owino, former spokesman for the police service, and also John Waiganjo, former commissioner at the Independent Police Oversight Authority, IPOA. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to have you on set. One of the stories we've just heard has to do with the release of the quote-unquote Kitengela 3, as they are now known. Former commissioner. Did NIS, the National Intelligence Service, were they accountable to IPOA as well?
Oh, well, IPOA is mandated to investigate members of the National Police Service, and that sector of the security services is under the National Police Service. So they were directly under the oversight of the Independent Policing Oversight Authority.
So they were directly under the oversight.
Yes.
And the last time I think I saw you on set here one morning, you were saying you were considering moving to court to compel cooperation from the leadership of the National Police Service with regard to the protest deaths. How far did you get in that endeavor?
Fortunately, after we threatened to go to the High Court to get warrants of arrest for the police commanders, they came to the authority the following day and they supplied some of the documents that we'd been asking for. And therefore, it was not necessary for us then to move the High Court to issue warrants of arrest. But the insistence that we needed to carry out our mandate and move to the High Court really helped a lot, because that way we got the information we were lacking at the time when I was giving that statement.
Yeah.
Right.
Charles Owino, let me ask you real quick. Let's face it, the police have a very bad reputation. You were once the spokesperson for the police. They have a bad reputation today.
You've given them a bad name as citizens.
What do you mean?
Yes.
What do you mean? Abductions happen, you know, kids are abducted. Why are we giving them a hard name?
In 2004, we came up with a strategic plan, 2004-2008. The purpose of the strategic plan was to introduce a civilian oversight authority, which was established after the post-election violence in 2007-2008. The police equally wanted to have the Police Service Commission, and they wanted to have one service called Kenya Police, with similar training, everything done on the same way. The post-election violence 2007-2008 became as a blessing in disguise. Why so? Because nobody bothered to work on our proposal of 2004-2008 strategic plan. And when the post-election violence came and we got the Waki report and we got the Krigler, whatever we wanted to be done was done. Why did we want civilian oversight authority? Because many a times when police investigated police officers and maybe a police officer is found innocent, the members of the public would say it's not proper for police to investigate police. And there was need to bring a civilian oversight authority to be able to oversight on police actions. What has happened is that we did not propose to have a civilian oversight authority to be in conflict with the authority. The police are not, they are not, how do you call it? They don't get unions. They're not members of, they're not allowed to form unions. And therefore, we expected that the civilian oversight authority would form not only to protect the public, but also to protect the interest of the police service.
But Charles, real quick.
In the first civilian oversight authority, which was chaired by Machari and Jeru, they did a very good proposal, especially on the police housing. And what happened is that we saw government trying to reform issues on police housing.
Trying, but they didn't do it, Charles. They didn't succeed. It was a failure.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is simple. That as Kenyans, we need to rethink on the type of police that we want. As Kenyans, it is our responsibility. It is the responsibility of Kenyans to ask themselves,
why do you,
just a minute, what quality of police service do we want? It is the responsibility of Kenyans to look at what kind of, how do we need to pay our policemen? How do we need to set up their living standards? Because you don't expect to have a proper and a better police service to give you good service when it is not a profession of choice.
Okay. So we'll get more into this discussion, especially how far those investigations at the time you were leaving IPOA into the protest deaths went. Former spokesperson, I'm sure you saw the video that went viral, the Multimedia University student who was assaulted
and also,
by police officers in uniform.
And also Masengeli. What happens to him now? Does he go to jail?
No, he doesn't.
Oh, okay.
He was forgiven. But you know, we'll get some more information, insight. Let me put it that way. We'll get some more insight.
In the meantime,